This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So yesterday we have seen something like what is Snowflake, what are the features of Snowflake, and what are the clouds supported. Guys, can you please mute? So what are the clouds what are the clouds supported to Snowflake? Okay. Now see here, we have something like multi-cloud support in Snowflake. Multi-cloud support. So today we are going to complete the theoretical part and we are going to see the project and we are going to create a Snowflake account. From tomorrow, we are going to start with practical bits. Again, I'm saying today we are going to complete the theory part, a little bit of theory, and we are going to see the real-time project, how it looks like. There is a data migration project. Then we are going to create a Snowflake account today. I want you people to create the Snowflake account. From tomorrow, we are going to start the real-time, and we are going to start like maybe practical kind of stuff. I'm saying from tomorrow, we are going to start with SQL base. Okay. So you know this, Snowflake allows users to deploy their data warehouses on multiple cloud providers. So Snowflake will allows users to use the data to deploy their data warehouses. To deploy the data warehouses on multiple cloud platforms. Or you can say it's a multiple cloud or multiple vendors, multiple cloud platforms. So Snowflake is going to support for AWS. Okay, AWS will support for Snowflake, Azure, and GCP. Oracle Cloud will not support because Oracle is a competitor to the Snowflake guys. So compared to the Oracle, Snowflake is going to provide the services 40 to 50% lesser price. So these are the cloud providers which are going to support Snowflake. Only AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay. Now we'll see some project, some data migration project. We'll see some data migration project. Okay. Now, so these are the cloud providers which Snowflake is going to support. Okay. Now see here, I have a project architecture here. So this is the entire project. Okay. We have some data sources here. We have some data sources. Maybe the data is going to come from CSV files or XLS or JSON or like a TXT files. So these are the data sources. Or you are going to get a data from RDBMS. So like MySQL, Oracle, or SQL Server. So you are going to get a data from this. Or you are going to get data from SAP HANA or Amazon Redshift, the cloud databases. You are going to get a data. Now, what exactly you need to do? It means you need to put this data in the Snowflake. You need to put this data into the Snowflake. Then you need to process the data. And finally, you are going to give to the reporting team. These are the reporting team. It's a different team. The data consumers, maybe the client or the reporting team, you need to provide the data to this. Now we'll see one by one how it works. Again, I'm saying is data source means from where we are going to get the data. So this data we are going to keep it in the Snowflake, or we are going to keep it in the like Amazon S3. Okay, Amazon like AWS S3. Okay, or finally we are going to process this, and finally we are going to give to the data consumers. One step by step we'll see how it will work. Yeah. First see here. Okay, we have something like data sources here. Data sources means from where we are going to get the data. Okay. Now, guys, can you please mute? We have some data sources. Okay. Data source means from where we are going to get the data. Going to get data. So this is a data source. Okay. You can able to get the data. We have three data. Guys, can you please mute, guys? I'm getting a resound. Guys, please mute. Okay. Now see here. So data migration project. First, we have the data source. Data sources means from where we are going to get the data. Okay. We can able to get the data. Okay. Like directly, like files like this also you can able to get. Directly, you can able to get the data like a data files, or you can able to get the data on premises, that is the through RDMS or DBMS, or you can able to get through cloud. Okay, first, so we are going to get the data like some file formats. We are getting data directly. So this first one, data files, we are getting some data files. Data files. So directly we are getting this data. Directly we are going to get this data. Some data files we are going to get it. So we are having some data file formats also. Maybe you can get some formats. We have some formats of the files also. We can get some data files which are like CSV files. We are going to get it. We can get some CSV files, or we can get some XLS files, Excel files, or we can get some TXT files, text files, or we can get some JSON files, Parquet, Arrow, any type of files we are going to get. So directly you are getting the files here. Directly you are going to get. Or we can get the data. We can get the data from RDBMS also. Okay, we can get the data from RDBMS also. RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. We can be able to get the data. So we are getting the data through MySQL. Okay, MySQL we can able to get the data. That is one of the DBMS. Or we can get the data from Oracle, or we can able to get the data from SQL Server. So we are getting some data, or we can able to get the data through some cloud databases. We are going to get the data through some cloud databases. Cloud databases, if you are going to get the data, like SAP HANA, we are going to get the data, Amazon Redshift. So we are getting the data. Okay. Now what is our target here? So we are getting the data. Okay. So we can get the data like this. Sometimes you can get only the data files like this. Sometimes you can get the data from the RDBMS. Sometimes you can get the data or SAP HANA or Redshift. So it depends on your project. It depends on your project. Only if you are getting this file, you can process in a different way. If you are going to get these files, you can process in a different way. If you are going to get these files, you can process in a different way. So now see here, you are getting some data. That is, maybe it's a data files, or maybe it's a RDBMS data, or maybe it's a cloud databases. You are getting some data. Now what is our target? So you are getting some data. Okay. So what is our target here? What we need to do with the data? What we need to do with it? First one, we need to move data into Snowflake. Into Snowflake. Whatever the data we are getting, we need to move data into Snowflake, and we need to do data processing based on the client. Data processing. So we need to move the data into the Snowflake and need to do the data processing based on the client requirement here. Based on the client requirement. Okay. This is the first thing. So we are getting data. After getting data, see here, after getting data, this is the next step. This is the next step. Okay. So now I have the data. Okay. Normally, here in Snowflake here, it will be on any platforms, guys. Maybe AWS platforms, see here. Snowflake is on AWS platform, or GCP, Google Cloud platform, or Azure Cloud, Microsoft Azure. Any cloud, Snowflake will be there. It will be on AWS or GCP here, or Azure Cloud, and any cloud. Okay. In Snowflake, we have two types of tables: staging tables and reporting tables. Staging tables and reporting tables. Okay, we have two types of tables here in Snowflake: staging tables and core reporting tables. Staging tables means it is the intermediate tables. Before loading to the main table, we are going to load to the staging table, then we are going to load it to the main table. In the future classes, I will say that. Maybe in the other 2 or 3 classes, after that we will see that what is the staging table, what is the reporting tables. Now see here. So just remember this. In Snowflake, see here, Snowflake is on any platform. Maybe it will be on AWS or GCP or Azure Cloud. Okay. Now in Snowflake, there is some staging tables, there is the intermediate tables, and we have some main tables. Okay. Now, if the data, now see here, guys. Now see here. Now we have some files here. Data files is there, RDBMS is there, and cloud cloud databases are there. If the data, whatever the data you want to load into Snowflake, okay, data loading here, data loading, okay. Now, if the data is in the local machine, we can load files directly into the internal table using put command and then into the table. Now see here, if the files, these are the files, if the files are there in our system, internal system or local machine, if the files are there in my laptop, I can load files directly into the internal table using put command and then into the table. See here, if I have files here, there's my internal system. Okay, if the data is in my local machine, if the data is in local machine, okay, if the data is in my computer or my local machine, what I need to do it here means, okay, I can load files directly. I can load files directly to internal stage first, stage I can use using put command. Put command I'm going to use, and then into tables. I'm going to explain you again this. See here, in my I'm using my laptop. If the data is in my laptop, that is in my local machine, I can load the files directly into the internal stage using a put command. Now see here, guys. If I have this file, data, so this file, these files are there in my system. Directly I can able to load to the internal stage and then to the Snowflake using a put command. Getting at what I'm saying? Just see here, if files are there, data sources means we are getting the data from different sources, If see here, in my laptop, if there is a file, in my laptop, so there is one file. So any file it is there. Think like this, I have this file. I want to load this file, any Excel file, anything. I want to load the file. What I can do it means directly I can able to load to the Snowflake, okay, internal stage using put command, and then I can able to load to the Snowflake tables. That's the first one, guys. So if the files are there in your local system, directly you can able to load to the internal stage using a put command, and then you can able to load to the Snowflake tables. That's the first one, if the files are there. Getting it what I'm saying? This is the first one what I'm saying. If the files are there in your local system, you can able to load to the internal stage. You can able to load it. I will let you know what is the internal stage, external table in the coming classes. Just listen this, because internal stage or external stage, anything means it's the intermediate where you are going to keep the data and you are going to load it to the Snowflake. Just remember this. Directly you cannot able to load anything to the Snowflake. If you want to load anything, you need to load to the stage, then only you can able to load it to the Snowflake. Internal stage is the intermediate space where you can able to load the data, from that where you can able to load it to the Snowflake. Again I'm saying, so if the data is in your local system, if the data is there, you are going to use the put command, then you are going to load it to the internal stage, then directly you are going to load it to the staging table. So now we can see here. So I have data in my machine or my system. I have data. I have some data, okay, in my system. I have some my data in the system. I need to load it to the Snowflake. If I want to load it to the Snowflake, okay, first I'm going to use a put command here. Put is a command. Using a put command, what I'm going to do it means I'm going to load it to the, from put command, I'm going to load it to the internal stage. Now what is the internal stage? Internal stage means it is the intermediate space where we can able to load it the table, and from that where you can able to load it to the Snowflake tables. Okay, so where we can keep some data here, okay, where we can able to intermediate space. phase where you are going to load the data to the internal stage. From that, you are going to load it data to the Snowflake tables. You can able to load it to the Snowflake tables. Okay. Directly, we cannot able to load the data from here to the Snowflake tables. Here, first you need to load it to the internal stage. Internal stage, then only you can able to load the data to the Snowflake table. That's the first one case. So if the data is in your local system, data is in your computer or the local mission, the data is in a local system. So you can able to do like this. Okay. Second one case. Now, if the data is in the RDBMS, if the data is in RDBMS means, so data is in some databases, maybe Oracle database or SQL Server database, some databases. If the data is in some databases, so see here. Now, if the data is in some database, MySQL database or Oracle database or SQL Server, if data is here, if the data is here, you cannot able to directly put the data here. In between this, you have some S3 bucket here. You have some in external stage or external table or Snowpipe. We have all these things, guys. Okay. Now see here what we are going to do it. Now second one, guys, this one. If the data is in RDBMS, what you are going to do it? Okay. If the data is in RDBMS, like Oracle or SQL, if the data is here, Oracle or SQL, the data is here. Okay. We cannot load RDBMS, okay, or like cloud databases directly into Snowflake. We cannot able to do it. What we need to do it means here, first we need to load the data into the S3 bucket. What we need to do it here means, first we need to load this data. Okay. First we need to load this data to Amazon S3, AWS, Amazon S3. Amazon S3. It's a cloud, Amazon S3. We need to load this data to Amazon S3. That is Amazon Web Services. S3 means it's a storage here. Simple S3 means simple storage service. First, if you have a data in the RDBMS, first we need to load the data to the Amazon S3. S3 means simple storage service. Simple storage service. Again, I'm saying it. If you have a data in Oracle or SQL, you cannot able to load data directly to the Snowflake. Okay. First, you need to load this data to the Amazon S3. Amazon S3. So after loading, okay, after loading to the Amazon S3, from this, after loading to the Amazon S3, from this, you can able to use a copy command to load the data into the Snowflake. From this, you can use some copy command here. Copy command. Then you can able to load the data to Snowflake tables. Snowflake tables. Okay, again I'm going to say this. If the data is in RDBMS, like Oracle or SQL, directly you cannot able to load the data. First, you need to load the data to the Amazon S3. If a cloud service is a cloud, you are going to load the data in this. S3 means simple storage service. Then you are going to use a copy command to load the data into Snowflake. Okay. Our task is, from here is our task. If the data is here, from this we are going to do it in real time. If the data is in S3, then only you are going to load it. From RDBMS to Amazon S3, we have another team who will take care. of this. Okay. Now, whenever, see here guys, if the data is in RDBMS, they want to load the data to the Amazon S3, they are going to use here some ETL tools. They are going to use some ETL tools. There, like Matillion. We have some different types of ETL tools in the market. Okay, so they are going to use that tools. Getting it what I'm saying? Till here clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here, this one directly you can load it. But if the data is there in Oracle or SQL or any RDBMS, first you need to load it to the S3. Then you are going to use the copy command. Then you are going to load to Snowflake tables. If the data is there in the Snowflake tables, then only you can able to do the data processing. You can able to process the data. You can do some calculations based on the client requirements, and finally you are going to give it to the client. So okay, data stage. We have a lot of tools, ETL tools. Okay, data stage is there, like talent is there, talent open studio, some different tools are there. Okay, now, so this one we have seen, and this one we have seen. Okay, now if the data is there, okay, if you have the data, okay, in the cloud, see here, I have a data in the cloud here, cloud databases. Okay, now if the data is in the cloud also, okay, you need to do the same thing. If data is in the cloud also, first you need to load the data. Okay, you need to load the data to the S3. Then you need to load the data into the Snowflake tables. Okay, first we need to load the data into S3. Then we need to move it to Snowflake. Okay, and one more thing is here, guys. Now we have one more thing here, Snowpipe. Snowpipe also here. Snowpipe. Snowpipe means we can use for continuous data loading. Continuous data loading. Continuous data loading. So now, if the data is coming continuously, we can use Snowpipe. Snowpipe to load the data directly into the Snowflake tables. To load the data directly. See, every 1 hour I am getting the data, but I don't want to load every 1 hour. So you can able to create one pipe. If data is there in S3, every 1 hour it is going to check it, it is going to load it. It is going to check it, it is going to load it. So every 1 hour it can able to do it. We'll see here. Now, Snowpipe. So this one is both RDBMS. It is for the cloud also, same thing, guys. So we have seen here. First one we have seen data sources, how you are going to get the data. There's some data files, means it's a local system. RDBMS are on premises. On premises means they have some servers which is on the company premises. So maybe MySQL or Oracle or SQL server. So directly we cannot able to load into Snowflake. First we are going to load the data into S3 bucket using some ETL tools. See here, using some ETL. These are the ETL tools. So using some ETL tools, then we are going to load the data into Snowflake. And one more thing also, directly we cannot load the, again I'm saying it, see here, here in RDBMS data is going to store, see here in RDBMS, this one only I'm going to teach you. In RDBMS here I have data in table format. So it's a database management systems. All the data will be in the table format here, like a rows and columns, yes, rows and columns. So directly we cannot load tables into S3. So I have data here, but here RDBMS, I have all the data in table format. You need to load the data into S3. You need to load the data into S3. So directly we cannot load this tables case. Directly we cannot load these tables to the X3. First, they are going to convert these tables into XML data or JSON data or CSV data. First, what they will do, it means they will convert this data into XML or CSV, depends, JSON or Parquet, Avro, different types of data. They are going to convert this. Then they are going to load this data to S3. Load into S3. Just remember this. Sometimes they will ask you the same question in the interview. How you are going to load the data from RDBMS? Have seen the data, how they have loaded. So directly, tables we cannot load directly to the S3 case. Tables we cannot load. Whatever the table data is there in RDBMS, first we need to convert that data. First we need to convert that data into XML or JSON or CSV. Then only we need to load the data. After loading data into S3, then we need to move to Snowflake. Getting, guys? Yes or no? Till here clear?
Yes, sir.
Now see here. In the Snowflake, we have a feature called Snowpipe. Snowpipe. Okay. Now see here, we'll see what is a Snowpipe. We are going to use this Snowpipe for continuous data loading. Continuous data loading. continuous data loading. We are going to use this for a continuous data loading. If the data is coming continuously, then we need to use Snowpipe feature to load the data directly to the Snowflake tables. Now see here, in Amazon S3, every 1 hour, I am going to get some 200 MB of data. 200 MB of data. Okay, 200 MB I'm getting data, or some 500, anything. I'm getting some data. Okay, every 1 hour. So I need to load this data. Okay, I need to load this data to the Snowflake tables. Load to Snowflake tables. Or every half an hour you are getting some data. You need to load this data to the Snowflake tables. So each and every time you don't want to go to the like Amazon S3, you don't want to check whether the data is coming or not. After coming that you are going to load it or not, you don't want to do this. Here we have some feature called Snowpipe. Okay, if the data is coming continuously, we can use Snowpipe feature here to load the data directly into Snowflake. So if I'm going to use a Snowpipe, we can keep the time also here. Snowpipe every 1 hour. I'll keep a like time for every 1 hour. What it is going to do it? It will go to the AWS. It will check for the data. If the data is there, directly it will load into tables. Directly to load into tables. So every 1 hour you can able to do this case through Snowpipe. You are going to make a connectivity here. You are going to make a connectivity here, like a pipe. Whatever the data is there, directly it is going to load it directly to the Snowpipe. Okay, done. So till here, what we have done, it means we have some different sources of data. We have some flat files, the data we are going to get it, or like internally you have some local system. I have some files, or I have some data in the RDBMS, or I have some data in the cloud. Whatever the data here. So if the data is in the local system, I am going to use the put command. If the data is there in the RDBMS or the cloud, first I need to load this data to the S3. First I need to load this data to the S3. From S3, that is Amazon S3. From that, I am going to load this data. From this, I am going to load this data to the stages. And then I am going to load this data to the tables. Just remember this. That's all. Next, final one, this one. We'll see what we are going. We have loaded the data here. Now we have loaded the data. Okay. Now data is in Snowflake. Now we need to do the data processing, like summary reports based on the data. So if client is going to ask, I need some summary report. What is the last week sale? Okay. What is the current day sale? So they can ask some reports. We need to create the reports and we need to create the views. Now see here. So data is in that Snowflake. Okay. Now data processing. So we have loaded the data in the Snowflake base. We have loaded the data in the Snowflake. Now we need to do something like data processing here. We need to do something like data processing here. Getting guys still here? Can you go with the data processing? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now data processing means we have some data. We are going to do some calculations. Think like this. Client is going to say, what is the total sale in last week? They can ask like this. What is the total sale last week? Or they can use some item. So what is the like how many items has been sold in the last week? So what is the total revenue you have generated? What is the profit margin in this? So client can ask like this. Okay, what is the total number of sales in the last week? Sales in last week. They can ask like this. Okay. Now data processing means we are going to do some calculations. We are going to write some SQL queries and we are going to do some calculations here. Okay, we need to do the data processing means we need to prepare some summary reports. Okay, how many products are there, how many sold, how many not sold, like this we are going to prepare some like summary reports based on data processing. Okay, So we are going to prepare the reports. Okay, summary reports. Like we are going to write some SQL queries and we are going to create. After this, we are going to create one thing called views. We are going to create views guys. Views, virtual tables. We are going to create views means virtual tables. I'll teach you on the SQL classes guys. Views means virtual tables. We are going to create something like virtual tables. Virtual tables. Now see here, I have something like maybe 1 lakh data guys. 1 lakh data I'm having. Okay, I have this data, 1 lakh rows and rows I have the data. Okay, 1 lakh rows I have the data. So this data first I have loaded into Snowflake. Maybe you are loading from S3 bucket, or you are loading from your local system, wherever you have loaded the data. After loading the data, client is going to ask, what is the total number of sales in the last week? Okay, I'm going to do the data processing. I'm going to create a data processing. So I'm going to check from this 1 lakh like data. So what is that means? Maybe 1000 or like maybe 1200 data is after data processing. So I'm going to do the data processing. So 1200, okay, number of sales in the last week. Okay, this 1200, okay, we are going to create a views for this. Create a views virtual table. We are going to create only for this 1200. What is the output you are going to get it? For that, we are going to create a virtual table. Okay. Now, what client will do means client will not see this data. Client or like end user will not see this data or this data. They will see only the output here. They will see only this output by using this views. They are going to use this views and they are going to see the output here. Okay. Whatever the views we are going to create here, again, I am saying guys, first data processing, we have done it. So this many records are there. First, you are going to load it into Snowflake. Then you are going to do the data processing, like how many sales are there in the last week, and they are going to create the views for this. Okay. After creating the views, so this views is going to give to these people guys. So this is our task. Till here we have created the views. Now we are going to give these views to these people. Data consumers. Data consumers are the client or the end user. So these people are going to use our data, our output, whatever we are going to write the queries and we are going to give the output. These people are going to use that output. Okay. Now see here, guys. Now see. These views are given to the reporting team. These are the reporting team. Okay, like Tableau or Power BI or ClickView or Looker BI teams. We have the different teams here. These teams will take these reports. Whatever the data we have prepared, these teams will take this. Okay. What reporting teams will do means they are going to create some dashboards. Okay, like a dashboard they are going to create, or sorry, graphs, charts, everything they are going to create, and they are going to show it to the client. Based on that, client will take the business decisions. Think like this: they have sold 1200. In this 1200, maybe they have sold more iPhones or more any Mac products. So what client will say is they will order more products. Again, they are going to order more products, so that again the sale will get increased, like this case. Now see here. Once you are going to done with this, these views, we have something like data consumer. Data consumers, or we can say client or end users. So these are the people. Now what we are going to do, it means whatever the views we have created, okay, we are going to give to the reporting team first. So we have created some views. Views means that 1200 will be the output of the views. So this one we are going to give it to the reporting team. We are going to give it to the reporting team. Okay. Now what reporting team is going to do, it means they are going to create reporting team means, see here we have a reporting team. They are going to use some tools for reporting this. The reporting team, they are going to use some tools. Think like this: they are going to use Tableau, they are going to use it, or ClickView, Power BI, any tool they are going to use. By using this tool, what they are going to do is Tableau tool. They are using some Tableau tool. These are the tools. So this is, we are not going to do this, guys. See, our work is from here to here is our work. This is our work in a real time. Only loading the data into Snowflake, doing data processing and creating the views. So this one, we have a data consumer with other team. Other team will be there. Other team is going to take care of this. So we are going to create some views. That views they are going to take it. The reporting team, they are going to use some Tableau or QuickView or Power BI. Okay, they are going to prepare some. They are going to reporting team. They are going to prepare. They are going to prepare dashboard or graphs. They are going to prepare graphs. They are going to prepare dashboard graphs or charts. Anything they are going to prepare like this. They are going to prepare. Okay. After preparing this, they are going to send it to the client. Send it to the client. Okay. So after preparing, they are going to send it to the client. Okay. Now client can understand where is his business and he can take the business decisions. And client will see these reports. Okay. And he will understand where is his business, how his business is running, and client will take some based on this. Client will take business decisions. So like this, we have the migration projects, guys. Like this, we have the migration project will be like this. This is a higher view for you people, guys. So what is the use of this Snowflake means? Like this, you are going to use it in a real time. This is a higher view for this of the project. Do you have any doubt? Let me know, guys. Guys, you people are understanding or not? That is one thing. Or I am going little fast.
Understanding, sir.
That's understanding, sir.
Okay. Okay, done with this. Now what we are going to do, it means I want you people to create a Snowflake account, guys. I want you people to create. Next one, we need to create a Snowflake account. Snowflake account. See here, we have something like Snowflake trial. Click on this. I want you people to do it, guys. Do it now. Create the account. Click on this. So you are good. You are going to get this page. So everybody is doing, guys. For anyone, if you want any Snowflake account, I can create and give it for you people, guys. Okay, you people are filling the data here. Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay, just fill the data, guys. Any email you can give it, guys. Your email you need to give here. So company, any company you can give it if you want. So role here. You can give it student or the data scientist or the data engineer, anything you can give it, guys. So keep it as a data engineer. So done till here. Can we go for the next one, guys? Okay. I'm going to click on continue.
Yes.
Everybody is doing right. Do it, guys. See here. Now here, we are going to get three versions here, guys. Standard version, enterprise version, business critical. Standard, enterprise, and business critical. 99% of the cases in the real time, you are going to use enterprise version only. 99% of the cases. Very rarely the people are going to use for business critical. Go with the enterprise version. Select the enterprise version. Okay. In the cloud providers, some people are using Azure, some people are using like AWS, some people are using GCP. Now in the market, more than 50 to 60% of the people, they are using AWS. Select AWS. Select AWS. After this, here you can select which is the near location for you people. Select Singapore only, no issues. Asia Pacific, Singapore. Click on this. Click on Get Started. Click on Get Started. Click on this. Okay. If you want, you can like fill this or you can skip it. Okay. Finally, I'm going to click on Submit. Now see here. The email to activate your account has been sent. You will get it is going to send some link there, guys, to activate the account. Done till here. Please let me know if you have done till here, guys.
Done.
Okay, done till here. Okay. Now go to the mail. See here, activate your Snowflake account. Click on this. Activate your Snowflake account. Click on this. And you need to click to activate. You need to click to activate. You need to click to activate. Click on this. Click to activate. Okay. Here you need to select the username and your password. You need to here you need to enter the username and password. Okay. Give any username. So any username you can give it, and any password you can able to give it. Any password you can able to give it. So click on Get Started. So you are going to get like this, guys. You are going to get the screen like this. Please let me know. Please let me know if you are getting. Please let me know if you are getting like this. You people are getting, guys, till here. Please
Yes, sir.
try. So all the people are getting right. Okay. Now see here. Now after this, see here, click on the account. Go to the profile. Click on the account. Go to the profile. Click on the account. Go to the profile. Okay. Now here we have something like a default experience. Select here, classic UI. classic UI. Classic UI and click on save. So profile is going to get it saved. I want everybody to complete till here, guys. Till here, please complete it.
Sir, after login, where I need to go?
Here we have something like, see here, admin. We have a profile here. Click on the profile. Select here, classic UI. Classic UI. Here you need to select classic UI.
Sir, why we need to select classic UI?
You need to write the SQL queries, right? So we have two paths here. One is Snowsite and second one is classic UI. We require the classic UI, guys. Okay.
Okay.
These are the settings of Snowflake, right? So how you require everything. Maybe some business analyst or some people who are not familiar with the coding kind of thing, they can use this Snowsite. They can see here. But we need to, as a developers, we need to go with the classic UI. Okay, done here till here. Close this. Now go here. You'll get something like welcome to Snowflake. You got one more mail. Welcome to Snowflake. The mail. Welcome to Snowflake. Click on this. Click login to Snowflake. This is your Snowflake account and enter your username and password. This is your Snowflake account. You can click on this. Enter your username and password. So it is going to log in. See here. I'm going to click on this. The mail which we will receive, recent mail. So name. So I'm going to enter the password. I'm trying to log in. Now see, you are going to get like this. Like this screen, you are going to get it, guys. Click on remind me later and minimize this. That's all. Close this. So now it's ready. So this is the Snowflake account. Now it is ready. This is the Snowflake account.